I just finished up a new set of prints and I want to tell you all about them in this video. Welcome back to Sanford Prime. First off, before I tell you about the new print, I just posted a video of this print and place butterfly knife. This knife was kind of the inspiration to keep going with the print and place models because of how well it worked. I've had some fun with it for sure. Given a few away, broke one, glued it back together. Also, I want to let you know that all the models I design and print, I post a video like this one to the channel. Once in a while, a short teaser too. Be sure to jump around the channel and see if there's anything else you like. And you'll also find that I'm active on X when I want to be. I'm usually posting things other than what the weather's like in my area. It's still cold, by the way. Oh yeah, if I haven't made it obvious yet, this channel's earned its first comma in the subscriber count since the last video. Thanks to everyone that's enjoying this. And if you haven't subscribed already, let me know in the comments why you haven't. For all the people who are new to this channel, all of the models I show here are uploaded as STLs to Thingiverse for you to download for free if you want. I also post the models to printables as 3MF files if that's what you prefer. Download from either site if you wish. Alright, well that was a lot to say and it had to be said, but I don't want to lose you just yet, so let's get to the model. I designed this model from scratch in SolidWorks. It all began with this single 1/2 inch circle. From that circle I was able to create a boss extrude at 5 1/4 inches long, and I drafted it outward at 1/2 degree. I'm going to roll the tree down to show the next feature, a shell. What this did is create a hollow shape with an open face that I selected and a wall thickness I wanted. As you can see, the larger side I selected is open to the inside, and the other narrower end is still closed off. But this is just the start of the assembly. I have a couple more pieces to create before it becomes obvious what it is. This is the next piece, ever so slightly a larger diameter, and you can see right through it. This is because I selected two faces to leave open in the shell feature, both ends of the tapered cylinder. I ended up making one more of these with both ends open. Then I made one last one that had some curve appeal to it. This only has the narrow end as the open part of the shell. So I just threw a spiral shape around it and some other simple decorations. The design tree is slightly more than 2 features, and I don't think you want to hear me talk about each one, so I'll spare you this time. So yeah, I said it was an assembly. I probably should show you what the assembly looks like, eh? Here it is, all 4 of the pieces stacked together. A section view of the extended assembly shows where the individual pieces are designed to stop through interference, giving it the rigid sword feel once extended. I can't print it like this though, I need to collapse it. Luckily I have a lot of extra mates in my tree from messing around, and now I have to figure out which ones I need to suppress to get it together. If only I would have thought ahead and created configurations to speed up switching between collapsed and extended. All done. It looks like a nice set of concentric rings from the end, doesn't it? I want to section it one more time just to make sure there's nothing obvious that's going to foil the print job. Looks good to me. Let's get this thing into a format the slicer can understand. What I learned while making the print and place butterfly knife was that an assembly with multiple pieces can be saved as a 3MF file. Now with the 3MF I can drop it into the slicer directly. I just have to orient it around a little bit to get it standing onto the end, which would be the tip of the sword. Let's see what kind of time we're working with here. Well, just under 8 hours isn't too long to wait and see if it works. Let's get this thing off to the printer. Luckily for you, you don't have to wait the full 8 hours like I did, courtesy of the time-lapse travel I have here. So far, so good. The big question is, does it work as intended, or do any changes need to be made? I'd say it works pretty good right off the printer, but it does feel kind of small. I think I'm going to try to make a bigger one. Running it through the same checks as the first one to make sure I didn't screw it up, all the sword sections seem to stop where they should. I managed to add some open and collapse configurations to this one as well. The handle will be a bit bigger in diameter for this one, and when I section it, I don't see any obvious interference. Good enough for me. Let's get this thing into Cura and find out how long I have to wait. Wow, it added 2.5 hours of the print job from the last one. The spiral on the outside is pretty cool to watch print, eh? Somehow my eyeballs just track to that part. Look at that, literally functional right off the printer. So I guess there's no question whether it'll work or not. It hasn't stopped amazing me. Might as well print one a little bit longer.
Bruh.
This assembly is now 6 sections, including the handle. Using configurations, I can now quickly go to the collapsed version. There's so many concentric rings on this one. It looks like the trunk of a tree, so I guess that makes it 6 years old? The section view is equally amazing. Still don't see any issues with it. Now it's time to orient it in Cura to figure out the print time. Just under 14 hours. Since the model is starting to look like a tree, I decided to go with wood brown PLA for this one. I can already tell you from pulling it from the print bed that it's going to work just fine, but I'll show you anyways. This one kind of reminds me of Pinocchio telling a lie. Now just so that I have 4 toys when this is all done, one more longer one. Now it's 7 segments including the handle. This is the biggest sword yet. Probably going to sound the coolest too. This thing looks cool too. There's so many pieces closely nested together. From printing the other 3, I have no reason to believe that this thing is not gonna work. Now I'm just curious what the print time is gonna add up to and how big in diameter the handle's gonna get. "17.5 hours. Let's get going. It was when I pulled this print from the printer that I realized that my GoPro remote battery had died. I can't complain though, this thing has triggered all the individual time-lapse photos of each of the 4 butterfly knives and all of the swords up to this point. The remote has literally been on for about 8 days and triggered over 5,000 photos in that time. I'll just have to plug it in for a few minutes. And now we're back to the printer. You can already see that all the cylinders on this one are free right off the print bed. Let's give it a demo. This is transparent PLA, but it's more like translucent. This sword is my favorite though. You can kind of see through the sections and see what's going on with all the insides.